Listening. Read the introduction to a radio program. Are the statements true, T, or false, F? 1. A flashbulb memory is a memory of an important event. T. 2. You do not usually remember small details with a flashbulb memory. F. Do you remember where you were when an important event occurred? Can you remember who you were with? Then you may have what is called a flashbulb memory. In 1977, two psychologists, Roger Brown and James Kulik, used the term flashbulb memories to talk about people's recollections of the John F. Kennedy assassination. They suggested that, like a camera's flashbulb, when a truly shocking event happens, the brain takes a picture of the moment when you learn about the event. This enables us to remember, sometimes in great detail, events of an emotional significance to us. Tune in to Radio 6 Real Lives and listen to some of the stories.
Unit 2. Recording 2. 1. Christine.
A lot of friends were staying in my apartment. We'd had a party the night before, and in the morning one friend, Danny, got up to make everyone some coffee. While he was making the coffee, he heard the news on the radio. He came back into the room and told us that John Lennon had died. Someone had shot John Lennon. We were all really shocked. It was a very strange feeling. We couldn't believe it. We'd all grown up with the music of John Lennon and the Beatles. We'd played his music the night before. And now suddenly he was dead. There was a huge feeling of loss. He was such a peaceful man who had wanted peace for everyone. It was a terrible way for him to die.
2. Rob.
I was travelling to a meeting on the tube that morning, and there were delays everywhere. They closed the underground station. At first I was really angry and worried about not getting to my meeting on time, but gradually we started to realise that something terrible had happened. People outside the station were trying to talk on their mobile phones, but the networks were all down because of the panic. Some people started to get news, and soon we discovered there had been bombs all over London. It was a strange and terrible feeling. There were crowds of people outside shops watching the news on the televisions.
3. Gino.
I was sitting in the kitchen of my house in Italy with my family, and I was only a child. Everyone was watching television. I remember the black and white pictures. I watched as this man landed on the moon, and I can remember thinking how amazing it must be to be an astronaut, and what an exciting job it was. Until then, I had wanted to be a train driver, but for a few years afterwards, I definitely wanted to be an astronaut.
4. Marianne.
I was staying in Los Angeles with some friends, and I was only about 18 years old. In the night, I suddenly woke up and the whole house was shaking. I had never felt an earthquake before, but I knew that was what was happening. It was very frightening. But after a few seconds, it stopped. Everything went quiet, and I went back to sleep. When I woke up in the morning, I thought perhaps it had all been a dream. But when I went downstairs and turned on the radio, I heard the news. The quake was in San Francisco, and it had done a lot of damage. So I was lucky, really. But I will never forget that feeling.
Listen again and answer the questions. 1. Who was angry about not getting to a meeting on time? Rob. 2. Who watched the news on a black and white television? Gino. 3. Who got up to make everyone coffee? Danny, a friend. 4. Who were trying to talk on their mobile phones? People outside the station. 5. Who thought that maybe what they remembered was just a dream? Marianne. 6. Who wanted peace for everyone? John Lennon. Grammar. Narrative tenses. Circle the correct option to complete the sentences. 1. Simon was feeling exhausted because A. The baby hadn't sleeping all night. 2. We were driving to the hospital to visit Sam when A. They called to say she had gone home. 3. By the time we got to the beach A. The rain had stopped. 4. Juan was feeling excited because B. He hadn't seen his parents for 10 years. 5. She was singing an old folk song A. Which I hadn't heard for years. 6. Everyone was dancing because A. Porto had just won the match. 3. Complete the conversations with the correct form of the verbs in brackets. Conversation 1. A. What happened to you on Saturday night? We waited for ages, but you didn't come. B. I'm really sorry. I was driving back from Aga's house when my car broke down. A. Why didn't you call? B. My phone had run out of battery. Conversation 2. A. Did you enjoy your dinner last night? B. No. Actually, I hated it. A. Why? What happened? B. Well, we had booked a table, but I hadn't realized it was right by the door. People were coming in and out all evening and it was freezing. Then, when the waiter was pouring my wine, he spilled it down my dress. And also, we ordered fish, which they had said was fresh. But when it arrived it tasted terrible. Vocabulary. The news. Complete the headlines with the words in the box. Crash. Demonstration. Attacked. Strikes. Earthquake. Fugitive. Floods. Hostages. 1. Plane crash in the Mediterranean. 2. Thousands killed and more homeless in huge earthquake in Haiti. 3. Pirates take families as hostages. 4. Heavy floods destroy houses as river water rises. 5. Fugitive arrested at airport. 6. Thousands attend anti-war demonstration. 7. Prime Minister attacked with eggs and rotten fruit during conference. 8. Train workers' strikes cause delays. B. Circle the correct option to complete the sentences. 1. We need to check our flights. The airport workers are planning strikes. 2. Protesters attacked the building when they were locked out and caused a lot of damage. 3. Police were congratulated when the fugitive was finally arrested. For LIF the rain continues, more floods are expected. 5. The driver attacked because he had turned the corner too fast. A news report. Learn to use time linkers. 5. Put the sentences paragraphs in the correct order to complete 3 news reports, AC. Each report should have 3 parts. 1. An introductory statement to say what happened. 2. Background information. 3. A concluding statement, or an opinion in quotes. Report A. 1. A Polish priest has installed an electronic reader in his church in Warsaw for school children to leave their fingerprints when they attend Mass. 2. The pupils mark their fingerprints while as soon as they enter the church. They will be monitored over 3 years. 3. During until that time, if they attend 200 Masses, they will be excused from taking 1 exam. Report B. 1. Love is really in the air in Tokyo at the Love Message Yelling event. While during the event, dozens of people stand on a stage in Hibiya Park in central Tokyo and shout out love messages to their partners. 2. While during they are on stage, yelling I love you or let me be with you, they are filmed and the event is broadcast on national television. Until by the time recently, Japanese men have usually chosen not to talk very openly about love. 3. But Kiyotaka Yamana, a Tokyo resident who started the love message yelling event after his marriage failed, said that didn't mean they were unromantic. The dominant image of Japanese men is of overworked businessmen, but but I wanted to tell people around the world that Japanese men are actually very romantic, Yamana told reporters. B. For each report, answer the questions. Report A. 1. What happened? A. Priest installed an electronic fingerprint reader in his church. 2. Where was it exactly? Warsaw, Poland. 3. Why did it happen? He wants to monitor whether the children attend Mass or not. B. For each report, answer the questions. Report B. 1. What happened? There was a love message yelling event. 2. Where was it exactly? Hibiya Park in central Tokyo, Japan. 3. Why did it happen? Kiyotaka Yamana started the event after his own marriage failed to encourage people to be more romantic. B. For each report, answer the questions. Report C. 1. What happened? More than 1,000 tourists had to be evacuated from Machu Picchu in helicopters. 2. Where was it exactly? Machu Picchu, Peru. 3. Why did it happen? The ruins had been cut off by floods and mudslides. Report A. 1. A Polish priest has installed an electronic reader in his church in Warsaw for school children to leave their fingerprints when they attend Mass. 2. The pupils mark their fingerprints as soon as they enter the church. They will be monitored over 3 years. 3. During that time, if they attend 200 Masses, they will be excused from taking one exam. Report B. 1. Love is really in the air in Tokyo at the love message yelling event. During the event, dozens of people stand on a stage in Hibiya Park in central Tokyo and shout out love messages to their partners. 2. While they are on stage, yelling I love you or let me be with you, they are filmed and the event is broadcast on national television. Until the time recently, Japanese men have usually chosen not to talk very openly about love. 3. But Kiyotaka Yamana, a Tokyo resident who started the love message yelling event after his marriage failed, said that didn't mean they were unromantic. The dominant image of Japanese men is of overworked businessmen, but I wanted to tell people around the world that Japanese men are actually very romantic, Yamana told reporters. D. Write a short news report, 80 to 120 words, describing a recent news event in your country.